Hi there, good afternoon, and welcome to your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. My name is Joshua Van Slyckman. Let's get to the news in details. When one considers amendments that were made to the petroleum agreement for the Kaieteur block, it is clear that ExxonMobil is now 8 months late on the relinquishment of 45% of the highly prospective offshore concession. The Kaieteur block, which spans 13,500 and holds a gross estimated prospective resources of 2.1 billion barrels. And it should be noted that a prospecting license in the oil sector is up for renewal after 4 years. During that period, the company had to adhere to a work program, and at the conclusion of same, it elect to relinquish all or a portion of the block. The PSC, when pursued by Kaieteur, notes that at the end of the first 4 years, ExxonMobil should have handed over to the state 45% of the Stabroek block. This should have been done by the PPPC government since in February. Smart City Clearing Company Limited was pleased to announce yesterday that it has facilitated the first manufacturing international joint venture partnership and investment between Guyana and the United Arab Emirates. Guyanese-based engineering, procurement, and construction firm Global Infrastructure Solutions Guyana Inc. and Udaim Global, and Emirati-owned company, have agreed to partner to develop a 20,000 square foot manufacturing facility to bring state-of-the-art voile slab manufacturing technology to Guyana. We understand that the $5 million investment will allow for the ability to create the Unidome state-of-the-art voiled slab technology in Guyana, which will be used to help build and develop key infrastructure needed for the development of Guyana's oil and gas industry. Meanwhile, Esso disclosed via a notice in the daily newspaper yesterday that it plans to put in place multiple lease agreements for the provision of residential apartments and townhouses. As a result of this, it is seeking to identify local suppliers who can provide same in several geographical areas. These include apartments or townhouse close to the East Bank Public Road, Vicingen Road, Diamond, and approximately 2.26 kilometers east of the East Bank Public Road. Lagrange, Wales, and approximately 0.5 kilometers west of the Demerara River, along Vredenhoop and approximately 0.96 kilometers west of the Demerara River, are also areas of interest. In light of its interest, Esso has issued a request for information, while noting that same is due by October 29, 2021. It was keen to note that all interested companies must be registered with the Center for Local Development in Guyana, which is the leading source for the oil and gas business and industry information, professional development, and networking. We tell you now that 24-year-old Jagadin, who confessed to killing a teen for his gold chain on Friday last, is expected to be slapped with additional murder charges today at the Vigilance Magistrate Court. Jagadin had admitted to killing Ganesh Prasad, also known as Chris, for his gold chain last Friday after invading the deals on electronic stores located at Strathspey on the east coast of Demerara. We were told that he is to be charged for Prasad's murder today, but it will not be the only murder he will be charged for. It is understood that prior to the killing of Prasad, he was wanted by police for 2 other murders. Meanwhile, President Mohammed Irfan Ali, during his address yesterday at the World Expo 2020, one of the oldest and biggest events on the planet, boasted that Guyana has attractive incentives for foreign investors, and invited them to come to business with the country. Guyana is making its first appearance at this grand event, and yesterday the country celebrated its National Day at World Expo 2020 Dubai, during which President Ali gave an opening address. Ali said that the expo provides countries such as Guyana opportunities to showcase its products and services and to establish connections and strategies with investors and suppliers. He went on to say that the country is delighted to be participating in an event being held in Dubai. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Housing and Water has extended $1.6 billion out of the $4 billion allocated to it in the first half of 2021 for improvement to access quality potable water across the country. This is according to the Ministry of Finance mid-year report. The report revealed that to reduce losses in the distribution system, works commenced to install 20,000 meters for residential and business areas, which will reduce non-revenue water by increasing the billed volume from 2.6 million cubic meters to approximately 3.3 million cubic meters per month by the end of the year. However, the upgrade of the Sapphire and Eccles water treatment plants will be completed in the second half of the year and to benefit approximately 20,000 residents. Meanwhile, the decomposed body of an unidentified man was on Monday afternoon discovered floating in the trench just off the Good Success Dam located in Craig on the east bank of Demerara. The man's body, which was clad in a multicolored shirt and dark colored pants, was found sometime around 15 hours that day by a farmer. According to information after receiving the body from the trench, there were no apparent marks of violence seen on the exposed parts of the body. The decomposed body was then taken to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, awaiting an identification, which will be followed by a post-mortem examination. 3 men were on Monday sentenced to 72 months imprisonment for the alleged robbery on the arms committed back in September on several persons at Chico Ramos gas station on the east coast of Demerara. The 3 suspects, 25-year-old Shahil Clark, a security guard attached to OPSEC Security, and 25-year-old Sion Peters, a taxi driver, and 30-year-old Vabon James made their first court appearance in the Vigilant Magistrates Court before Magistrate Fabia Zor, where the charges were read to them. The trio pleaded guilty to the 3 counts of armed robbery, which occurred on September 30th last at the gas station. The men were then sentenced to 24 months imprisonment on each charge by Magistrate Azor, with the sentences to run consecutively. It is 18 hours, that should be 12 hours 16 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. We turn your attention to your COVID-19 updates. The Ministry of Health yesterday reported that 2 more persons who tested positive for COVID-19 died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 877. According to the ministry, the latest fatalities are that of an unvaccinated 18-year-old woman and a partially vaccinated 50-year-old man from Region 10. 94 new cases were recorded, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 34,608. 23 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 118 are in institutional isolation, 3,512 in home isolation, and 5 are in quarantine institutionally. To date, a total of 30,078 recoveries have been recorded. And it's time for us to turn our attention to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News. Now, the toothless EPA abuses itself with noise nuisance workshops with police. The EPA should be honest with itself and have a examination conducted on itself at every level. Better do it, but even a evaluation is too late for Guyana's EPA. Better do a post-mortem on the local EPA, so obviously dead it is. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast. I'm Joshua Van Sleckman. Thank you for joining us.